Hello, God bless you, and welcome again to my channel, The Secret Place TV. Today, the Lord laid in my heart to share a personal encounter with you, and I want to use that to kind of tell us how to know that you have encountered God in your personal space. So, the topic I will give this broadcast is encounter. I don't know. I've been thinking of what to call it. It's a personal encounter, but I want to use it to tell you something about your relationship with God. Because if you don't have a personal encounter with God, your conviction and your resolve and your love for God will not be strong. The Bible said that love is stronger than death. If you truly love somebody, you should be willing to die for the person. So if you don't love God to the point of dying for your faith, then you don't truly love Him, you know. So I want to tell you something important, how I encountered Jesus Christ and how to know when Jesus enters into your space. 2 times in my life, I had this kind of experience. The other one, I'm not allowed to share the other encounter. It's kind of something that God told me to keep private. So I'm not going to share that. You see, there are things that God will reveal to you about your personal relationship with Him, and He will instruct you not to share it with anybody. And this is to keep you humble. Even the word I'm going to share with you today, it took time. It took probably 5 to 6 years. So it's something I've kept to myself, for quite some time. But I'm going to share it today. I prayed and I asked God for the grace to share this encounter with you. And I know to some of you, you probably won't believe it. You probably will not believe it, but ask God to give you an encounter so you will believe it. So when I came to the United States, I used to have roommates because I was going to school. So I was having roommates, some brothers. I was staying with some brothers and, nice brothers, very nice guys. And one day I was in my devotion and God spoke to me. I had a roommate that time, a very nice guy, committed Christian, and God spoke to me and He said to me, there are things I will never show you as long as you have a roommate. And I was shocked. He said, there are things I will never show you as long as you have a roommate. So I called my roommate and I said, I'm moving. He felt bad. I told him I have to move. I didn't tell him why. I told him I have to move now. I have to leave now. So I gave him time though, I gave him time to adjust himself and also plan. So I got my own place. And something happened in 2015. Most of you've heard about Shiloh. Shiloh is a yearly and annual event by Winners Chapels Church, hosted by Bishop David Oyedepo. Most of you probably know Bishop David Oyedepo. So during Shiloh 2015, I will never forget. So around evening time, we had a break. So we had a break in between and we were asked to go home and come back. But before we left, Bishop did something. He said everybody should kneel down and enter into a covenant with God. Enter into a personal covenant with God to serve Him, to do His will, to follow Him, that whatever He tells you to do, you will do it. So I knelt down in that service. We all connected from our church here in Los Angeles. I knelt down and I wrote a covenant with God in my Bible. I made a vow to God, entered into a covenant with Him, and we went home. So when I got home, I laid down in my bed to take a nap, just to take a nap. But I could not sleep. I could not sleep because we were asked to come back, to come back within 2 hours. Just a short break. So during that nap, I wouldn't call it a nap because my eyes was open. During that resting, okay, I was resting. So a divine being, because I was staying in a studio. Most of you know what studio is. Studio means one room. At that time, I was staying in a studio. So it has one door entrance. The kitchen is there, everything is there. So I was in my bed around 8 p.m. at night. And a divine being came towards my restroom. And the restroom does not have an exit door. There's no exit door there. Nobody could enter from the back. A divine being entered from there and was coming towards me. Physically, I was seeing a divine being. Physically, with my 2 eyes. I'm a grown man, so I know what I saw. So he came towards me, and when he was coming, now listen, this is what I want you to learn. When an angel visits you, or when Jesus visits you, there are two things that will happen, and I want you to pay attention. One, a part of your physical ability will be suspended. It will look like you are paralyzed for some time. It will look like your physical being is suspended from moving. You are suspended from moving at that time. The atmosphere will change. It's as if you're having goosebumps. Atmosphere will change. Your physical body, you look like you are paralyzed at that moment. And you will have goosebumps. So when that being came towards me, the face was blank. You know you met God when you cannot see his face. Let me say it again. You see, when people say they meet God or they met Jesus Christ, that Jesus visited them and they saw the face. No. If Jesus visits you, he will not visit you in his heavenly body. No, he will not visit you in his heavenly body. He will visit you. For example, when angels visit, they don't visit in their, you don't see wings. So, okay, angel came and they have wings. No, that's not what I'm saying. They are coming with earthly body. So they come as humans. If you read the Bible, you observe that wherever that angels appear to people or God appeared to people, or, whenever somebody has a divine encounter, they were thinking that it was a human being. Yeah, they at first the person would think, oh, this is a human being, and suddenly you realize you encountered an angel or you encountered God. So when Jesus visits you, he will visit you. I mean physical visit. I'm not talking about dreaming and vision. When Jesus enters into your space physically, he will come with earthly body like a human. But let me tell you the difference. You encountered a divine being. One, he doesn't go through the door. He doesn't go through the door. He goes through the wall. So that night, he passed through the wall and entered into my space. And I was looking at him. And then he touched me, passed across a message, and he disappeared. I was watching him and he disappeared. Why am I saying this? Let me finish the story. So I was in bed and I felt that I was having, paralysis, my entire body was hijacked. Like I was shaking in my bed. I was shivering and I was shaking in my bed, shivering. I was sweating and I was scared. I was very scared. So that was the first personal encounter I had with Jesus. The second one, I don't want to share that. So I dressed up and I went to church for the night section for Shiloh. When I got to church, I was entering the church and Bishop Oyedepo was already speaking. He was already preaching. So I came in late and he said, some of you, God will be appearing to you. So when he said it, the Holy Spirit bore a witness in my heart that I already encountered, God before coming. Now let me tell you, this may not make sense to some of you, but ask God for an encounter. Do not be a Christian who does not have an encounter. Now, you may not see Jesus Christ. You may not hear the audible voice of God. Probably in my lifetime, I heard the audible voice of God twice. Twice, probably twice. Few times, angelic visitations. And some I'm not allowed to share the encounter at this time. So, but what I'm trying to say is this: crave for a personal encounter. Crave to have a personal encounter. There are things you will see. Nobody can discourage you from serving God. There are things you will see with your eyes. Nobody can discourage you from serving God. And I say it humbly. I don't need anybody to encourage me to serve God because I've seen things. I've seen things. And I say it with all humility. I've seen things. The God you are going to heaven to see, some people have seen him on the earth. And I will keep it there. Crave for a personal encounter. Ask God, reveal yourself to me. Now, when you pray that prayer, it doesn't mean that he will come come to your room. He might decide to appear to you in a dream. He might decide to come through his word, through the Bible. But crave for an encounter. Tell God, I want to have a personal encounter with you. I just don't want to be a religious person. I hate religion. I don't want to be a religious person. I want a personal encounter with you. I want to hear your voice. I want to see your face. In the book of Exodus, I think 33, Moses said to God, I want to see your face. It's all right to see his face. And when I say see his face, I'm symbolic of an encounter. Tell God, give me a personal encounter. I want to know you as for myself. Let me know you for myself. Not that my pastor is telling me or my parents or people. I want to know you for myself. I want to see how you look. Right? So, so it's very, very important. And one of the things that will help you, because the second time I had that kind of encounter, I was on 40 days fasting. Presently, I'm on 60 days fasting, 6 to 6 for 60 days, 62 days. So he doesn't reveal himself casually. You have to crave. You have to really be hungry for him. I'm not talking about going to church every Sunday. That's good. But crave for a personal encounter and build an altar with God. Enter into a covenant to serve him. Have a personal relationship with the Holy Spirit. Crave. Be hungry. Be hungry for him. Tell him, I crave for you. I want to see you for myself. Show me who you are. When I started praying that prayer, angels were visiting me. I'll be sleeping, angels will come and touch me. Physically, I will feel the hand of an angel. Sometimes I will tell God, I remember a funny experience I had one time. So I was to go to work. I was working night shift. So I was supposed to wake up around 10 p.m. to go to work. And I prayed and I told God, please wake me up. I told my angel, wake me up around 10 so I can prepare for work. I went to sleep. You can't believe it. Exactly at the time that I told the angel, the moment that time when it was time, the angel pushed me out of bed because I'm a deep sleeper. I'm a very deep sleeper. When I'm sleeping, it's difficult to wake me up. So the angel pushed me out of bed. I found myself on the floor. But that was part of encounters I was having with my angel. You can have a personal relationship with your angel. You can encounter Jesus for yourself. It's okay to hear people's story, but you need to encounter him. It will strengthen your conviction and strengthen your relationship with him. You see, when you see him, you don't need anybody to encourage you. I'm telling you, I say it humbly, I don't need anybody to encourage me to serve God. I've seen something and I love what I saw. So I want to serve him. All right. God bless you. And I'll see you tomorrow. My name is Emmanuel.